Welcome to Bushcraft. I'm Adam, and today we're going to go over knife grips and how to safely use your knife. Now, we went over knife safety last time, so figured why not go over how to safely use it. But before we get into that, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and let's kick this off. So, the knife. We have our fixed blade knife here. I got my handy dandy piece of material. The first thing is, we're going to avoid working in the triangle of death right here. All these are really designed to be, seated or standing, but it's just easier to use them seated. So the first grip is the one I'm in right now. It's just called the safety grip or a forehand grip. And all simply do, your thumb's along the side of your hand here, not on the back of the blade. If you put the thumb on the back of the blade, you can start building a bad habit of doing that. And then when you're using a fixed or a folder knife, now you fold the blade up on your fingers. So get in the habit of just putting your hand on the side. This keeps the blade right here in front of you. So with this grip right here, this is designed to take, I'm gonna move around a bit, manipulate this from the outside. So this is designed to take a lot of material off the wood. Now, so you angle the blade slightly like this, and you're gonna push with your shoulder down. So push with your shoulder down, and this will take a lot of material off quickly and allow you to sharpen a stick real quick, or if you're carving something, you can take a lot of material off, and it works really well. You'll have a lot of control over it. Just pushing that arm down and just running that whole blade down. Don't go really 90 degrees and push down, because then you're just getting that one part of the blade. Use the whole blade and let it slide right through there. Now, another way to do this is to lock the blade to your knee and then pull the material back. So the blade is slightly angled. I'm going to lock my forearm, and then I'm just going to pull back. Now with this, if I'm making feather sticks, it works really, really well, because then you can just control it and slow it down. Or if I'm making a tinder bundle and I want real thin pieces of metal or wood, just slide it right along. And all I'm doing is pulling the stick and not the knife. If you want to, you can lock the blade actually to your shin more to do that, or just lock it out here as such. That's the first one. The forehand or the safety grip. It's called both in a couple different publications. Next is the backhand grip. So all you're simply going to do is take the knife and turn around so the blade is facing towards you. Now, I know the whole thing, don't cut towards yourself. That's the way to, you can cut yourself. But this really is designed if someone's working with you, or if you're working alone and you have a piece of cordage, you just cut it such like that. It's probably one of the biggest methods for this right here. But you see that the tip is pointing away from me at all times with this, because I'll use the backhand grip and several other grips coming up here. So that you have the forehand, the backhand. And next is the scissor grip. Now with this, all you're simply going to do is you're going to come to your chest with the material and the blade as such, and you're just going to put the blade into the material and pull with your back and your shoulders like such, paying attention to what you're doing. And this allows you once again to take off a lot of material and keep the blade really controlled, because it can only go this far right here, like a chicken wing. So I'm not flinging it out where I could hurt somebody or myself. So just lock it in and just use your back muscles and your shoulder muscles, paying attention to what you're doing, and then just run it really along. Get really big pieces. Takes off a lot of material really quick, and it doesn't work you too much, because that's one thing, especially in a survival situation, you want to worry about calories, so you can carve these up without burning too many calories out. Then the next one we got is a thumb push grip. So we're gonna go back into our safety grip, and all you're simply gonna do is you're gonna push with the thumb along the wood here. And all this is simply doing is allowing you to cut really wispy strips. And then if you're carving, this will let you carve like those minor little cuts you have to do. So just pushing with the thumb. And you can also fulcrum it, put your thumb there and fulcrum it and twist. And this will allow you to take just little bits off. So if you don't want to take a whole bunch off, you just take a little bit off. So you want to make sure your fingers are out of the way, and just all you do is push with your thumb. Just pushing with your thumb. Come back and push. And it's real safe because obviously it's not coming towards you and there's nothing in front of the blade. Then we got the pull stroke. Now, the pull stroke, this is where you're going to cut toward yourself, but you're going to go into the backhand grip, and this allows you to cut the entire portion almost of your material. So you're going to grip the front here, and all you're simply going to do is, so my arm's going to stay locked to my body, and this is going to be, the blade's pointing away from me, and you're just coming back and pulling, and you're coming right along, and the blade is pointing away. You see that, and getting these wisps. But I could take off a lot of material if I wanted to. But if I did slip, if I did what was cutting, I did slip, because the blade's pointing away from me, it's basically, I'm gonna get locked because I keep my elbow locked in. I'm gonna cut, and then this right there, the pommel and my wrist are preventing it from coming any farther than that right here. You do this all day long, as long as you're paying attention to where the blade is. Now, some people have a tendency to put their finger up here for extra control, and that's fine. If you want to do that, just remember, if your finger slides forward, now you're gonna be in for a bad day. So keep that finger on the side, and this is just allowing you to take some shavings off. And you see the blade sometimes will start tipping forward. Just remember to bring that elbow back in. Okay, so the next grip is gonna be your finger push grip. And with this, you're gonna go back into your backhand grip. And all you're simply gonna do with this is you're gonna make sure your meaty portion of your hand stuff is not in the way. You're gonna push with your fingers, and this is you're gonna swoop. So you're gonna swoop, and this is gonna allow you to make tight curves, especially if you're carving a spoon or a fork, and that's all you're doing. The right hand is really just there to hold the knife in place. And with this one right here, I can just go right along. Then the next one we got, thumb grip. Probably most have done this one in the past. So with this, you have a piece of material, whatever else, and you're gonna cut along, you're coming like right here, you're just carving right here along it. Now with this, a lot of people have a tendency to put their thumb in front of it and use their thumb as a stopper. You don't wanna do that. What you wanna do is put your thumb below the material, and then as you're carving, it's going over and it's stopping naturally or as far as your finger can go. So you're using the bottom part of the blade more or less here, and you just carving right over top of it. Now if you put your thumb here as a stopper, because you're pushing into it, you're not slicing, then the risk of getting cut is minimal, but you're still gonna take some chunks out of your finger. So just remember when you're doing this, just pay attention where the blade is and just pushing through. That's it. And this is for those fine minor cuts, or if you're trying to edge some stuff up and take some detail out of it or make some detail into it. So that's basically all it is to it. Now, with any knife, there is a possibility of cut. Obviously, you have to just pay attention to what you're doing and know the material you have and how strong it is, and pay attention. That's the biggest thing. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the woods.